Hello. Today we're going to try to learn to draw a star. Now the size of the star depends on the size that you want. For example, right now I'm using a regular 8.5 by 11 or 11 8.5, whatever position you have. In this case we have 11 by 8.5. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find the center of the paper. Now we can do it by measuring vertically and horizontally, or we can just crisscross the corners of our paper. I'm going to zoom back a little bit. Okay, so I can crisscross, and lightly I'm going to be drawing lightly, or in this case a little darker so you guys can see it. So I'm going to meet my two corners and crisscross. That should be the center of my paper. In this case we're going to draw a circle with a diameter of 6 inches. So for that, in this here, I'm going to measure from 0 to 3 with my compass here, and I'm going to go to the center, place my compass on the center, and I'm going to draw a circle. Again, I'm drawing a little darker so that you guys can see it. Draw my circle. I'm going to take my little T-square here. You can also use a regular ruler to do the next part of it. We're going to find the center horizontally. So I'm going to take my ruler here, line it up with the edge, my little T-square with the edge of the paper, and find the center here. I'm going to draw a light line across, horizontal line segment. Then I'm going to get the center vertical line or line segment. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and label, just for the learning process here. It's a lesson, just a lesson to learn. Capital C, A, B, and D, intersections, the intersections. So I'm going to divide this line segment A, and we're going to label this one E, the center. The center is E. So we're going to divide A and E in half. Since I'm using inches, I'm going to use the inches. You can use anything you want. So half of 3, the diameter of the radius from here to here. This is the diameter, circumference. The radius from here to here is 1.5. So it's 3. From A to E is 3. Half of 3 is 1.5. So now we're going to label this small a. Okay. Now I get my compass. I set my compass on small a. Open to C, capital C. Let me turn my other light on. And from this C, see, I'm going to try to get as perfectly as possible. I'm going to intersect E and B. Okay, so this is going to give me small b. Now I go back to C. I open it to B. Then I intersect here. And on the opposite side. and I'm going to label this small d, small c, the intersections. Now I go back to C, small c, to big C. I go down, intersect arch A and D. It's going to give me E, small e. Now I go back to D. I get to C and I do this. And that gives me F, intersection F. Now we're going to go ahead and draw a line from small c to small d, from big C, capital C, to small f, to the intersection, from big capital C to small e, from small d to E, from C to F, and there's our star. Now I'm going to outline it with a marker so that we can see it. Okay. So I like to make established dots so that I don't mess up. I'm just going to do the contour of it. And all of this can be done in the computer with programs that they have. But I always say, computer is a tool, it's not the answer. And you meet your this time I'm going to try to not move the ruler and just go through the line segments. I'm an old man. When I used to do this, we used to use Indian ink. And my goodness, sometimes you make a mess. You have to start again. Well, you can still make a mess with these markers, right? But it's so easy nowadays. We used to really work hard to do all this stuff without computers. Programs that are in your computers are fantastic. And once you get to know your program, by being an old person from the old times, you had to learn it all first. And there's your star. Okay? It can be any size, as long as you draw your circles and do your divisions and a simple math, simple geometry, and you can draw your star. Well, I hope you learned something and that you give me a like, a subscription, and comments. And you can also use this line as part of your design. And then you can go ahead and erase everything else once you have your star. Okay? Good. Thank you.